Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and welcome to your Walking Dead review. This is for Season 8, Episode 3, and I think the show is really off to, one hell of a start. The season is off to one hell of a start. So I just did a video before I shot this. Go watch it. It's where I'm talking about my social media, and I'm seeing a lot of people not enjoying the show. And after episodes like this, it's kind of hard to not enjoy the show. So I want to discuss a couple of things. I want to talk about a couple of things on this show that were interesting and entertaining to me. But there's a lot of things that people are not liking about this show, and I think that's strangely peculiar in a lot of ways because this season has already started off with a bang. Last season, there was a lot of intrigue. We finally got to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Well, he did debut at the end of season 6, but we really got to see him grow as a character, and he became my favorite character on the whole show, and he's the villain. But that really says something when the villain actually becomes more interesting to you than even the main hero. So the thing is, people are just not enjoying it. I see people are talking about, oh, the governor was a better villain. I just don't see it. I don't see how the governor put in a great performance. That was a great character, but pales in comparison to the obviously superior Negan. It just has a lot more charisma and a lot more going for him as a character than the governor did. And I think that was kind of intended. It's just Negan, Jeffrey Dean Morgan commands more screen presence and, just is a more appealing character overall. So with this episode, we finally got to see the conclusion of Rick and Morales meeting again. And it was very sudden because, Daryl just comes in with his crossbow and just shoots him. And I love it how Rick was like taken aback because this is a guy he hasn't seen in ages. And he's looking at him, and he's not sure if he's gonna get shot or not. And Daryl just kind of waltzes in and just shoots him with the crossbow. And I just that probably was intended to be a little funny, and I did laugh at it because the way how Rick just looks at him and he was like, "You know who that is?" And Daryl's like, "Yeah, I did." And it's like kind of like, okay, well, let's move on now. He's dead, and let's go. It's kind of like Daryl is just so much. More not caring when it comes to it. He's a lot more, I don't want to say careless, but, he doesn't really think much of it. And we see that, that Daryl is kind of just, pretty trigger happy here. And he is definitely on the way polar opposite, on the field than Jesus, who, just doesn't really want to kill anybody, feels if they surrender, or they're in a weak position, where there's not a lot they can do, that they should just, become prisoners of war. And we saw that really kind of, not really come to a head, but they advanced that storyline a bit. They finally brought the captured saviors back to the hilltop. And Maggie kind of gave her answer. She said, "We have children here at the hilltop. We can't bring these people here." And Jesus insisted. You also had a really cool fight with Morgan. Something wasn't right with Morgan. I don't know what it was, but he kind of snapped, and he has a fight with Jesus. Jesus actually kind of wins the fight, which was surprising. So, we still didn't see any follow-up with Negan and Gabriel, which was a little bit disappointing, but I like how they're doing that. See, that's what I love about The Walking Dead. They keep you coming back for more and more. Just like when they were fooling you that Glenn died, people still said, like, man, okay, I'm kind of hoping that he's going to be here this week, maybe this week, and they made you wait for like 3 or 4 weeks, and then they finally gave you an answer, and that's what they're doing here. Is Gabriel going to die? Maybe is Gabriel and Negan going to work together to get out of the sticky situation? And I love that. See, that's the thing about Walking Dead more than any other show. The concept of a cliffhanger has been overused for ages, and rightfully so. But the thing is, I think The Walking Dead probably does it better than anybody else or anybody before it, or probably better than anybody ever will. I don't really get why people are not really feeling this season. I'm finding that a bit strange, especially because it's more action-packed and more eventful, and things are moving at a faster pace. Maybe it's because people like a slower pace. I don't know. Like I said, I'm a bit confused by it. I don't get the reaction of certain people and like why they're not really feeling this season. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, guys. Anyway, this has been your Walking Dead review, and I will see you next week.